Big injury news in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is going to miss the next 2 weeks with a quad strain, at least the next 2 weeks. And if it were to be exactly 2 weeks, that would be 4 games that she is going to miss at minimum.
And I have to say that I did notice in the Liberty game, Caitlin Clark's shots were all very short. So it was showing that she wasn't getting off, and she was having a difficult time making those threes, and a lot of explosiveness from those 3-point shots does come from your legs.
This is actually an injury that was separate from the quad tightness issue, as Caitlin Clark described it earlier in the preseason, that she dealt with before. So it's a little bit of interesting situation given that it was the same leg, but the team is saying it is actually a new injury.
In a split, replays showed exactly what fans feared. A defender stepping in late, delivering a high-impact body-first blow that caught Clark mid-stride, sending her sprawling to the hardwood in a heap of limbs and pain. Her leg bent unnaturally beneath her, and she clutched at it instantly, grimacing in agony as teammates and trainers rushed to her side. The arena, moments earlier buzzing with anticipation, fell into stunned silence before erupting into a chorus of boos aimed squarely at the officiating crew. Slow-motion footage only amplified the outrage. There was no attempt to play the ball, no caution from the defender, just a calculated collision that many are now calling a cheap shot. As Clark was helped off the court, barely putting weight on her leg, a chilling realization swept through the building. This wasn't just a loss for the Fever, it could be a turning point for the league. That Caitlin Clark's injury might be way more serious, not just a standard quad strain, but potentially a deeper, more complex issue that's been quietly building over weeks, maybe even months. According to sources with direct knowledge of the situation, Clark had been battling lingering discomfort and muscle tightness in her left leg for several games leading up to the hit, but had pushed through it in true competitor fashion. Now, some insiders are questioning whether she was ever truly at 100%, and whether team medical staff and league officials overlooked red flags in favor of keeping the league's biggest draw on the floor. Whispers suggest possible muscle tearing or nerve involvement, injuries that could sideline her for far longer than the initially projected timeline. What's more alarming, some of the very doctors treating her are said to be urging the WNBA to take a hard look at the pattern of physical play targeting Clark, claiming that what happened wasn't just unfortunate, it was inevitable. Clark has been the target, not just of defensive schemes, but of an increasingly aggressive style of play that borders on dangerous and, in some cases, crosses the line entirely. From the opening tip of her rookie season, defenders have been bodying her up, throwing shoulders, elbows, and hard screens, often without consequence. And while physicality is part of professional basketball, what Clark has faced feels different. Deliberate, unrelenting, and largely unchecked by officials. Analysts have pointed out the discrepancies in foul calls, with Clark frequently absorbing contact that would draw whistles for other players. Now, with her injury shining a harsh spotlight on the league's officiating standards, questions are surfacing about whether the WNBA did enough to protect its biggest star. Was this the result of a league unprepared for the spotlight Clark brought with her? Or worse, a quiet tolerance of escalating physicality to toughen her up? Because if what sources are saying is true, that Clark was already playing hurt, already masking pain, already being pushed past her limit, then that final foul wasn't just reckless. It was the breaking point in a storm the league saw coming and